Okay. Waiting. We're now getting into the woods, Tim Woods. I think people understand waiting, but what does waste look like in waiting?
Well, somebody's ready to do a process or build a thing or provide a thing, and it's not there, or it can be not there by either side, the person providing it or the recipient. But anyway, somebody's just standing around not doing productive work because they're waiting on something to show up or a decision to be made, whatever it is. So
Mhm.
you hire somebody for 8 hours a day and they actually do productive work for about 2.
Yeah.
And you need to get that up to 3 at least.
Yeah. So this comes from manufacturing where you have a bottleneck, a constraint. Maybe it's a big machine, right? And it can only handle so much, and you've got materials just sitting there waiting, right? And that's wasted time because you're waiting. But the same thing is true, just like you said, of employees that are. It can be with any handoff, right? Where things need to go to from one thing to the next, and that can be within a role, that can be within a function within the company where it's going from sales to design. It could be externally with a vendor, supplier, or it could be with a client that you're waiting on, but it's just waiting, right? You're waiting for the invoice to be paid because you only collect checks. And if you started allowing credit card transactions, you would have less waiting. Now you have more fees, but you should evaluate, is it worth paying those fees? Because we don't get paid for
Right.
60 days and the cash conversion cycle is killing us, right? There's different approvals, information, someone to get back to you, whatever it is. There's waiting everywhere, right? So waiting is a type of waste. The next one, we have 2 O's, and they're similar but a little bit different. Overproduction.
Yeah, you produce more
What's your
than you
thoughts on
need
overproduction?
before you need it, and that is damaging on a lot of levels. It increases
Mm-hmm.
inventory, parts that you don't have. It takes space in your shop or space in your truck. Uh, People often do it because, well, we're already set up. Let's go ahead and make 5 instead of just the 2 I need. Well,
Mm-hmm.
besides the inventory, if you find out later that you have a flaw in manufacturing or you made a
Mm-hmm.
mistake in making parts that are going to go into this project and you made 10 of them, you got 9 that are scrapped versus 1.
Sure.
I mean, many reasons not to overproduce.
Well, I think we've talked about this before, but I think the main form of overproduction that happens is the scope creep and the change orders that are even influenced by the owner themselves. Oh yeah, we'll throw it in, or oh yeah, we can do that. And you're overproducing on the job,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah,
And
over-providing. Yeah.
you're over providing, maybe is the way to think about it,
Yeah.
right? But you're doing the things that nobody asked for, that wasn't a part of the scope, that wasn't, oh yeah, we can go ahead and throw that in, or we'll take care of that, or yeah, we'll add this layer to it. And those are change orders, right? And so there's overproduction in that sense all the time. But
Yeah.
you had a great line about this, like maybe it was from your father, where you can't add value, you can only add
Oh,
cost.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, that's part of the next one, overprocessing. But it's impossible for a company to add value to a product. They can
Mm.
only add cost. The market will determine whether or not that cost resulted in an increase in value. And one of the
Mm.
common, it's funny because it still holds, is all the features on a microwave. You know, I mean, I know how to change the clock, and I know how to hit start. Each time I hit it, it adds 30 seconds a high. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Diane can do a lot of things, but they put a lot of features in there,
I
lost
don't
on
care.
me. Same thing on a
Yeah. I
Sony
need something
controller,
hot.
or is it Sony? Anyway,
Anyway.
one of the controllers that you see everywhere for your TV, it does 120 functions. I don't even know what they are. Matter of
Can I
fact, I'm
change the
glad to have
volume? Can I
AI.
change the channel?
Yeah, change the channel, turn the sound up, turn the sound down, turn it off, turn it on. No,
Yeah.
but anyway, now that I have chat and Claude, I can say, how the hell am I supposed to do this? And it tells me. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
yeah,
great.
that's that. Yeah, you can. That's part of over processing. Matter of fact, that's one of the main, which is the next O. One of the main attributes is a common thing in the cabinet business is spraying, finishing the back of all the cabinet drawers.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that add value? It added cost. It added waiting time because another part you got to sand and paint and wait, and nobody cares. And it's an opportunity to screw it up because somebody painted the back of your cabinets with red paint, even though most people might not see it, they don't want it. So you're going to make them again.
Yeah. Well, I still think that's overproduction. I would say overprocessing is more, it has less to do with actually producing something, producing work. It has more to do with like, oh, we have 3 people reviewing this, right? And it's before it gets out the door, right? Well, why do we do that? Well, that's how it built over time, right? Nobody knows why there's 3 rounds of review. Oh, you got to fill out a pink sheet. Why do I have to fill out the pink sheet? And there's probably a good reason for it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that.
Or there might have been 20 years ago.
Right. But there could be waste within the process, right?
Sure.
And so it's, overproduction could also be like, oh, well, we generate this marketing report every week. Does anybody read it? No. Right? Like those are production. The processing is more so like a 12-step approval process to order material, right? Like, okay, what are we doing here?
Why
right?
are we doing that? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just an aside, but one of the best ways to spot that is when you let somebody go, don't backfill the position until you realize that you absolutely must. Because a lot of times you don't have to.
Yep. You don't have to. Yeah. And sometimes there's overprocessing, which can lead to overproduction, or there's overproduction that can lead to overprocessing. Meaning you're spending your time. So like I said, someone makes a weekly marketing report, right?
Right.
And you have this one person in the office who reads it every day, but does nothing with it afterwards. She doesn't talk to anybody about it. She doesn't do anything with it. She just reads it because she was given the task to read it. We're just wasting overproduction of making the marketing report and then overprocessing of somebody reading it when it doesn't impact anything in the business because nobody does anything with it. It's just a report.
But
right?
You might be hitting on the S of skills, underutilized talents.
We will
might
be
have a
hitting on
lady
that.
over there who completely understands what's going on in your marketing, but you never talk to her. Anyway, go ahead.
We'll get to that. Okay, so we understand overproduction, producing something that shouldn't be produced, whether that's we're manufacturing something or we're doing it on the job site for somebody that they didn't ask for, it wasn't in the scope, or it's internal in the office where we're making these beautiful slide decks that could be in an email, right? Then you have overprocessing, which is using your bandwidth to do something, but doesn't need to be done. You're processing information. You're going through, 12 rounds of approval before sending the email to the customer. Hopefully no one's doing that.
If this episode brought you clarity, we've got plenty more where that came from. Check out our full library at thecashflowcontractor.com. See you in the next one.